Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and in this video I'm back with another fourth stimulus check update where I'll be discussing things such as unemployment, the eviction moratorium, rental assistance, updates in the infrastructure bill, and so much more. But before I get into today's update, if you do enjoy videos like these and wouldn't mind helping me out, I would greatly appreciate if you could just quickly tap the like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, make sure to claim them for a limited period of time by clicking my link in the description box below. Okay, so jumping right into the update for today, in some pretty good news, the US economy added 943,000 jobs for the month of July, which happened to be the biggest jump since August of last year. The overall unemployment percentage also dropped half a percentage point, going from 5.9% in June to 5.4% in July. So both of these figures actually beat the Dow Jones estimates, where many economists expected to see slower growth due to the recent rise in COVID cases. With that said, let me know in the comment section below how your job hunt is currently going, if you're currently seeking employment. In some other news, as mentioned in my previous update, the CDC decided to go ahead and extend the eviction moratorium another 2 months through the 3rd of October, buying tenants just a little bit more time. This moratorium on evictions is expected to cover around 90% of renters, as it is intended to prevent evictions in counties with high levels of virus transmissions. Obviously, this doesn't solve the problem for many American families facing eviction, as it really just pushes back the deadline. However, if you are having troubles paying rent, there are still many rental assistance programs out there depending on where you live. In the description box below, I will leave a link for the National Low Income Housing Coalition, where you will see a list of different states and the hundreds of programs available. And in order to qualify for funding, usually at least one member of your household will need to qualify for unemployment benefits, or at the very least, attest in writing that they've lost income or incurred significant expenses due to the pandemic. Additionally, they will also ask you to demonstrate your risk of homelessness, which something like a letter showing your past due rent should absolutely cover. They also have guidelines that your income level for 2020 can't exceed 80% of your area's median income, and states have also been directed to prioritize applicants who fall at 50% or lower. So definitely make sure to check that link out, which again, I will leave in the description box below. And if you would like any help finding programs for your states, leave a comment below and I'll do the very best that I can to help you out. In some other news, regarding the 2,700-page infrastructure bill that no senator will probably actually ever read, well, they'll be back in for a procedural vote on Saturday, where Democrats hope they can wrap things up and then move on to their partisan-based bill. Being that the Senate is supposed to leave for their August recess, at this point, that's probably their biggest motivation to get things done. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has already stated that he wants the Senate to pass both the bipartisan package and the budget blueprint for their bigger proposal before taking off on their break. Oh, and just in case you haven't yet found the time to read the full 2,700-page bill, on page 508 of the bill, you can find plans for a national motor vehicle per mile use fee, which essentially seems like a plan to charge for mileage and therefore making it too pricey for some people to even drive their car. So that's some really great stuff there. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this most likely won't actually happen, but if it did, just imagine how big of a disadvantage people in rural communities would have. These are people that have to drive long distances for everyday activities, and if they're having to pay a mileage fee for all this extra driving, yeah, that's pretty unfair. And finally, so far anyways, a fourth stimulus check has not been included in the 2,000-page bill, nor is there one being discussed in the much larger bill that Democrats plan on passing through reconciliation at some point later this year. While there's not a 0% chance of one actually passing, there haven't been many talks either, making it clear that it's not a real priority for congressional lawmakers. And finally, just a couple of other stories to wrap up today's video. First up, we have Congresswoman Cori Bush making an absurdly hypocritical statement on why we should defund the police, yet she still needs her own private security. Watch.
I'm going to make sure I have security, because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending 200,000, if I spend 10 more dollars on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets, because we're trying to save lives. I have private security because my body is worth being on this planet right now. I have private security because the white supremacist, racist narrative that they drive into this country, the fact that they don't care that this black woman that has put her life on the line, they can't match my energy, first of all. This black woman who puts her life on the line, they don't care that I could be taken out of here. They actually probably are okay with that. But this is the thing. I won't let them get that off.
So Congresswoman Bush needs her own private security, which, by the way, costs around $20,000 yearly, because her life could possibly be in danger. But everyone else, American families, should have the police defunded because, well, apparently they're just not important enough. Now, understandably, there are some bad police officers out there that do abuse their positions of power, but the majority of them, by far, are outstanding people who put their lives on the line every single day and night to protect us and our communities. So, certainly a hot take on Cori Bush's part, saying that we should have our own police or security defunded. Meanwhile, having her own private security, again, costing $20,000 yearly. And finally, for our last story of today's update, according to the American Crossroads, the IRS sent out nearly $800 million to inmates as part of the American Rescue Plan. If you remember, this was the bill passed back in March of this year, sending $1,400 in stimulus money to Americans earning less than $75,000 per year, including prison inmates. Tom Cotton, a Republican senator, said, "Earlier this year, every single Democrat voted to give stimulus checks to violent criminals in prison. Sending cash to murderers and rapists in prison has nothing to do with solving the pandemic or improving the economy. Now, the same people who sent hundreds of millions of dollars as gifts to these inmates want to spend trillions more in an even bigger and more partisan bill." Now, certainly not every inmate in prison is a murderer or rapist. Many of them are in prison on lesser charges such as drug use or other nonviolent crimes, so it's sort of difficult to put them all in one category here. Certainly, not all of them are these terrible people that Senator Cotton makes them out to be. However, with that said, I have done a poll on this in the past, but in your opinion, do you believe that prison inmates should have been eligible for these stimulus checks? And why or why not? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. But before I go, again, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, valued up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link in the description box below. Once you open an account with Webull, you'll receive the first free stock valued up to $300. Then, once you make a deposit of at least $5, yes, just $5, at that point, Webull will send you the second free stock, this one being valued up to $2,000. Once you receive the 2 free stocks, at that point, you can either use the $5 you deposited to invest in more stocks, or you can simply transfer that money right back into your bank account. If you'd like, you could even sell the free stocks that you received for whatever amount they're worth and transfer that money right back into your bank account as well. So, free stocks or free money, however you would like to think of it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and if you did make it all the way to the end, I would greatly appreciate it if you could take just a few more seconds out of your day to like this video, share it, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.